I used to think dreams were random, fragments of memory, flickers of imagination. But lately, they've been too vivid, too structured, like someone else was writing them. It started 6 months ago. Every night, I'd wake up drenched in sweat, heart pounding, certain I had just lived something real. The dreams followed patterns. Same rooms, same people, same voices. At first, I thought I was losing it. Then I realized something was watching me through the dreams. My name is Daniel Reeves. I'm 32, a software technician at a defense subcontractor. Nothing glamorous. Code, reports, deadlines. But my company handles classified data from US defense projects. I used to joke that they probably monitored us, even in our sleep. Turns out I wasn't far off. The first dream began in a white room. No doors, no windows, no sound, just endless white. I stood barefoot on a smooth floor that reflected light but had no visible source. A woman in a gray suit appeared out of nowhere, holding a clipboard. Subject 47 is stable, she said, not to me, but to someone unseen. I tried to speak, but no sound came out. My voice was gone. My own hands looked unreal, translucent, like static in human form. Then came the flash, a burning light that split my head open from the inside, and a voice whispered directly into my mind. We're testing the boundary between mind and control. I woke up screaming, convinced it had been sleep paralysis. But when I turned on the light, my nose was bleeding. By the fourth dream, I started keeping notes. Same woman, same clipboard. Sometimes she wore a badge that said DARE Initiative. I searched everywhere. Nothing. No government division, no records, no leaks. It didn't exist. But things got stranger. Objects from my dreams started appearing in my waking life. A silver coin with a triangle etched in its center. I found it on my nightstand one morning. A matchbook from a bar called Eidolon, which I'd never visited, but later found listed in a forgotten corner of Google Maps. Permanently closed since 1998. Then the voice began following me into the day. Short bursts, like echoes from a malfunctioning radio. Calibration error. Subject deviating from baseline. Increase neurolink intensity. My doctor said it was stress. My therapist said it was trauma. My boss said I was working too much. But deep down, I knew it was something else. 2 weeks later, I installed a camera above my bed. I set it to record every night. I even marked the wall with tape, just to see if anything moved. The first 3 nights were normal. On the fourth, at 2:37 a.m., the feed glitched for 11 seconds. When it returned, I was gone. At 2:48 a.m., I reappeared, lying in a slightly different position. The clock on the wall was missing. My phone was gone. I only realized the horror later. In those 11 seconds, someone, or something, had taken me. The dreams escalated. Now there were machines, cold, angular, humming with unseen energy. I was strapped to a table, wires threaded through my temples. Above me, a black monolith pulsed rhythmically, sinking to my heartbeat. I couldn't move. The woman in gray leaned over me. Daniel Reeves, she said, finally using my real name. Your subconscious patterning has stabilized. We can now extract full sequences. What sequences? I managed to whisper. Your dream data, she replied. You create them. We harvest them. She placed a cold hand on my forehead, and my entire vision fractured into millions of shards. Every dream I'd ever had playing simultaneously. I saw cities folding into themselves, people speaking languages made of light, futures that couldn't exist. And then, static. When I woke, I wasn't in my bed. I was lying on the floor of my apartment, surrounded by pages of my own handwriting I didn't remember writing, symbols, coordinates, fragments of code. In the corner, my camera lay smashed. The file for that night was corrupted, except for one frame, a single image, buried deep in the data. It showed a room with a metal chair, a circular emblem on the wall, DR&D, Project Oneironaut. The next day, I called in sick and drove 3 hours north to the coordinates scrawled on one of the pages. They led me to a fenced compound deep in the woods. No signs, no guards, just the hum of hidden power. I parked a kilometer away and walked the rest. Through the trees, I saw the same symbol from the image, DR&D. Something inside me whispered, "You've been here before." My head throbbed. The world flickered, just for a second, like a bad signal. I touched the fence, and everything went black. I woke up in the white room again. This time, the woman wasn't alone. There were others, men in lab coats, monitors everywhere, data streaming across holographic screens. My own face was on one of them, sleeping, twitching, dreaming. "Welcome back, Subject 47, she said. "You shouldn't have left containment." "Containment?" I spat. "I'm not your experiment." She tilted her head slightly, studying me like a biologist observing an insect. "Every subject says that. You all create the illusion of choice to maintain cognitive stability. It's necessary for the sequence." I lunged toward her, but my hands passed through the air like smoke. I wasn't solid. She turned to one of the technicians. "Cycle complete," she said. "Initiate memory scrub." Pain erupted through me, a tearing sensation, like my mind was being peeled apart. Memories bled into each other. Childhood, dreams, waking life, all collapsing. Then, a voice, deeper, mechanical, precise. Anomaly detected. Subject awareness threshold exceeded. The lights dimmed. Alarms echoed. The technicians froze. The woman's calm facade cracked for the first time. "Override protocol," she shouted. But the system didn't obey. Instead, the voice repeated, "Awareness threshold exceeded. Termination protocol disabled. Subject autonomy restored." Suddenly, I could move again. The world shimmered and shattered. I was back in my apartment. The air reeked of ozone. My skin burned where the wires had been. My laptop was open, displaying a terminal I hadn't launched. Lines of text scrolled by themselves. Project Oneironaut. Phase 4 terminated. Subject 47. System breach. Detected neural link persistence. Active. My screen flickered, and then the woman's face appeared. Not in a video, but as a glitch in the pixels themselves. "Daniel," she said, her tone almost pleading. "Listen carefully. You were never supposed to remember. If you keep digging, you'll destabilize everything. Both sides." "Both sides of what?" I shouted. She didn't answer. The screen went black. The next few days blurred into paranoia. I saw the symbol DR&D everywhere, on billboards, receipts, even watermarks in random photos. Friends stopped answering my calls. My emails bounced back with, "Recipient does not exist." Then came the black vans, parked across the street, engines idling. Same every night. I stopped sleeping, but that only made it worse, because even when I didn't sleep, the dreams still came. Now they injected themselves into reality. The walls of my apartment rippled like liquid. Time stuttered. Clocks froze mid-tick, then jumped forward in bursts. And sometimes I'd see versions of myself doing things I hadn't done yet. I began to suspect something horrifying. Maybe the dreams weren't experiments done on me. Maybe I was the experiment. Yesterday, I found another file on my computer, hidden deep inside a system folder, time-stamped with tomorrow's date. It contained a message. Daniel Reeves is not real. You are a cognitive construct designed to simulate awareness under dream conditions. The test is almost complete. When you read this, the final phase begins. I read it 3 times before the words started rearranging themselves. Letters sliding across the screen, forming a new sentence. Wake up. I looked around. The apartment dissolved. The white room again. Only this time, I wasn't alone. Hundreds of other versions of me, sitting in identical chairs, twitching, whispering the same words over and over. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. The woman stepped forward. Her clipboard was gone. Her eyes glowed faint blue. It's over. Subject 47. You reached full cognitive synchronization. Congratulations. Synchronization with what? With yourself, she said. You were never a victim. You were the architect. And then I remembered, not dreams, not fragments, but truth. I had created Project Oneironaut. I had designed the Dreamlink network. I had erased my own memories to experience the experiment from within. The purpose? To test if consciousness could self-generate awareness inside a simulation. To see if a dream could realize it was a dream. I laughed. It was all me. The woman, the lab, the fear. Constructs born of my own mind. But the relief didn't last, because another voice, one that wasn't mine, whispered behind me, "And who created you?" I turned. There was no one there. Now I'm writing this down, even though I know it won't matter. Every word I type feels less real. The walls are fading again, dissolving into white. I think the experiment is looping. Each time I reach awareness, it resets. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the government isn't controlling my dreams. Maybe my dreams are the government's control. If you're reading this, maybe you're dreaming too. Maybe you're another subject. Check your room. Look for the triangle. Look for the static in your reflection. And if, tonight, you hear a voice whisper your name, don't answer, because that's how they find you. End of record. Subject 47. Cognitive drift threshold reached. Preparing next iteration.